So, if you're in the market to upgrade the sound system in your boat or vessel, certainly you want to think about brands that have a legacy, and Kenwood certainly fits the bill. Not only do they have source unit solutions, but a whole line of product ready to go to improve and upgrade your audio experience on your vessel. This is CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM, all about Kenwood Marine Audio. And it starts now. And welcome to another CMA Connected here on CMA Networks. We're talking marine audio, and Kenwood is the brand du jour. Today, joining us, we have our good friend Kelvin De Leon Rivera. What a fancy, sexy name. Thank you for joining us. Let's bring him on right now. Welcome to the show, Kelvin. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, man.
Listen, really excited to talk marine audio with you. And a lot of people don't know just the depth of product that Kenwood actually offers. And we're going to go through some of that, aren't we, today?
Oh, absolutely. We've got an extensive library of product that I'm more than happy to go over with you
All
guys
right, well,
today.
we're going to get into it, but first, a quick break as we talk about SiriusXM. Of course, always a great opportunity to up your sale. And when we come back, we got our man Kelvin in the house, and we're talking marine audio with Kenwood. Don't you dare go away.
Hey, Paul here with SiriusXM, and I'd like to talk to you about attachment selling and why the SiriusXM product is one of the best things to add, especially since we don't trade dollars with any other category. I could go through all of this, but let's hear what some of our dealers have to say.
It's an easy add-on that takes, 10, 15 minutes if we're running an antenna, 1 minute if we've got an adapter to plug it into the factory SiriusXM antenna, and it's extra money, so no brainer.
I present it to every customer because a lot of customers don't know what all they can do with Sirius. They don't know what all content they could have. It just makes too much sense not to sell it.
It creates a different customer loyalty and customer security when you explain to them why it's a better experience. Just gets them back in the door. And then the next car, they're already asking for it again. So it just keeps selling itself. It makes more sense.
Well, there you have it. You heard from our dealers. Just remember some of the best practices. Make sure you have one on display so you can demo it. Make sure you're taking advantage of our rewards program, because if you're not taking advantage of that, you're leaving even more money on the table. Make sure you got our POP up on display. And other than that, just make sure you're recommending it.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. With me, of course, is Kelvin from Kenwood. Now, Kelvin, before we get into this cool lineup of product we're going to be talking about, some of them being, quite new, let's make the distinction, just to be clear. Kenwood has kind of two branches, right? You have your standard Kenwood product, but then you have Kenwood Exelon. Talk to us a little bit about the distinction between these two brands.
So when you're talking Kenwood, everybody knows and loves them already. They're a great product. However, there is a tier that is above that as well, which is Kenwood Exelon. And I mean, to be more specific, there's also Kenwood Exelon Reference, which is even above that. However, we're going to talk Exelon today because that same format follows our marine applications as well. We have our standard Kenwood Marine, and then we have Kenwood Exelon Motorsports and Marine.
All right, so that's pretty cool to know that there is regular Kenwood branded product in marine category as well as Exelon. What is the difference between the two, really, though?
So the biggest difference between Kenwood and Kenwood Exelon comes actually down to two things, and that's going to be that Kenwood Exelon carries a 2-year warranty for their products, as well as 5-volt pre-outs on all of their audio systems.
All right, so now that we have a better understanding of what Kenwood versus Kenwood Exelon is, let's dive into some cool product. We've got a list of things to go over today, Kelvin. I mean, we're talking Kenwood, right? So let's talk about source unit, and the one that we have to look at is the KMR XM500. Let's bring you on. I want you to talk to us a little bit more about what this unit is all about.
Yeah, absolutely. So actually the KMR XM500 is probably my favorite marine radio. It fully features a gauge style system. So it's very easy to mount into just about anywhere that you want to put this radio in. But on top of that, it's got a slew of cool features. Outside of the 5-volt pre-outs and that 2-year warranty that I talked about, it's one of the only receivers in our line that carries a backup camera, so it's backup camera compatible. And on top of that, this receiver also carries a weather band and a world tuner. So you can get just about any information that you need while you're out there on the water.
Now, might I say, Kelvin, that the form factor of that radio is signature Kenwood, which I, for one, definitely appreciate. I love the fact that it has weather band. I love the fact that it has that camera input. And you might be thinking, why do I need a camera on a boat? Let me tell you, two applications. One, if you have a larger vessel, you can't see everything on your boat at once. That is a great opportunity. The other one I see a lot of feedback on is for wakeboarding. it's nice for the driver to have a camera that can see, those individuals who are wakeboarding in the back without having to turn around every time. So that's another cool feature. But while we're on the list of inputs and different functionality, how about Sirius XM and anything else that you might want to mention?
That's actually a great question, Ben. And it's even better when you think about the fact that this is one of the only receivers that actually has a Sirius XM input. So this radio is completely Sirius XM ready. All you need is your SXV 300.
All right, so as you can see, if you're in the market for a full featured source unit solution, look no further than Kenwood. Not only does it look very aesthetically appealing, but it's loaded with great features like Kelvin mentioned, the weather band, the Sirius XM. It's got 5-volt pre-out, guys, so perfect for any system building. And on top of that, it's got a camera input, which I think is phenomenal, especially in today's world where, safety is everything. Now, uh, is there something to be said though, Kelvin, when we're talking about even building bigger systems for larger vessels, right? For more control of that system, perhaps from a remote standpoint. Let's bring you in and maybe you can tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So Kenwood offers exactly that. We've got a variety of different remotes that you'd be able to choose from. Now, keep in mind, some remotes are compatible with others, so we do suggest checking that compatibility. But we really do work our hardest to provide that solution for you when it comes to controlling these units to the fullest extent from anywhere in the vessel.
All right, now that we covered a little bit in the source unit category, we got to talk about the next category here, which is of course speakers. Now, speakers, there's a couple of things that marine audio customers are looking for. So let's get into it. When it comes to the speaker offering from Kenwood in the marine space, what do we have going on here, Kelvin?
So, I mean, I would almost agree that the speakers are one of the most important parts of the audio system itself. It's what you're listening to. But in terms of what we provide our customers, there are great sounding speakers that are also conformal coated, but they do come in a variety of colors to match the boat. So we have a white pair of speakers and a black pair of speakers, but they are also RGB.
Mhm.
So it further solidifies that customization aspect that a customer could be looking for.
Let's be honest, Kelvin. When it comes to marine audio, you kind of got to have lights these days. I hate to admit it, but it's kind of true.
No, you really do. I mean, and it's one of those things that it's been implemented over time, but I mean, I'm a fan.
Yeah, I am too. I am too. I love, like, I have a boat. I love having the lights because it's kind of part of the deal. Now, just to clarify, these speakers, they are available in both white and black, correct?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Now, obviously, no audio system on a boat would be complete without a little bit of bass. So let's get into the subwoofer options. How does that work, and what is the offering from Kenwood? Do we have subwoofers that are in the catalog?
We absolutely do. And I wholeheartedly agree with that statement. Most of the holes in great audio systems come from that lower end. But let me tell you that our subwoofers actually follow suit with our speakers. So they come in a variety of different colors. They're conformal coated. They sound great. And they have that RGB that we mentioned before. Now, with that being said, they are also rated for infinite baffle
Uh,
applications. So you can put them just about anywhere and it's going to sound awesome.
Yeah, and that's an important thing because there are some subwoofers out there that require an enclosure, and that could be cumbersome because let's be honest, sometimes we're putting systems in and there just isn't the space. So, an infinite baffle or free air application is definitely going to be more practical for installations. So, just to check this off, both the speakers and the subwoofers, obviously weatherized, ready for the environment, RGB driven, and just for clarity, these subwoofers are ready to go in an infinite baffle setup.
Absolutely. You got it, Ben.
And last but not least, to complete the system, we've got to talk about amplification. When it comes to the power amps, there's a couple of things that are important here, especially in a marine environment. You got to have a good form factor, not too big, because again, space is very limited. You got to be weatherized for the situation, whether you're on freshwater or saltwater. And lastly, you got to have the features that it takes to be able to build the system that you need for that vessel. So, what do we have when it comes to amplifiers?
So I couldn't have summed it a better up myself, Ben. Our amplifiers, especially our X8025, for example, it's a smaller amplifier, so it has that small footprint that a lot of people like, so they could put it anywhere in the boat. They are conformal coated, so it's rated for those harsh environments of salt and fresh water. And on top of all of that, they are high res certified, so you can be sure that you're going to get the best audio quality possible in these marine applications.
And there you have it, a quick rundown of the current offering from Kenwood when it comes to marine audio. Uh, Kelvin, listen, this is something I wanted to point out, right? If I take a look at the market, take a look at the offering that's currently out there, when it comes to those large, Japanese source unit manufacturers such as yourselves, I'm going to go out there on a limb and say that Kenwood is one of those that actually take categories like marine audio and even power sports audio, for that matter, quite seriously. I'd like to hear your comments on that.
No, absolutely. And like when you look at our entire line, not just marine motorsports, I mean, we try to offer a versatile arrangement of products. So seeing our car audio side of life and thinking, man, these guys make everything for them, we wanted to bring that exact same attitude over to our motorsports side. So not only are we going to make receivers for you guys, but the speakers, the subwoofers, and even those amplifiers for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's super key, especially when you're looking to partner up with a vendor such as yourselves that can really supply a retail store with everything they need, regardless of the category. One thing that I want to circle back to again, we learned today, if Kenwood has its own lane of product, but so does Exelon. One of the big differences is, of course, that extended warranty going up to 2 years for the Exelon product, and of course, if you're into sound quality like I am, 5-volt output on the Exelon radios. Hey, Kelvin, I just wanted to thank you for coming in today and talking to us about marine audio.
Absolutely, Ben. Always a pleasure.
So, like I said at the top of the show, Kenwood is certainly a serious player when it comes to marine audio. Whether you're looking for source units, remote source units, if you're looking for camera systems, if you're looking for amplifiers, subwoofers, and even speakers, and yes, they have RGB lighting, look no further than a complete offering coming to you from Kenwood. I want to take a second here to thank our guest, Kelvin, for joining us today. And if you're looking for more information, make sure you hit the link below, kenwood.com, regardless if you're in Canada or in the US, a fantastic catalog for all your marine audio needs. That's it for this CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.